10 new fragrance releases. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about 10 brand new fragrance releases for the year of 2024. There were some solid releases last year, more towards the end of the year. This year, we're starting out pretty hot. We've got about 10 of them to talk about, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first one that caught my eye and caught my attention is going to be Phantom Intense. I literally just released a full review for Phantom Parfum, the brand new one. I thought it was a step up. I doubt that this one's gonna do what that one did on skin. There was a little bit of acidity in the other fragrance, which kind of made it go sour on my skin, at least, the Parfum. For that reason, the original actually does better on my skin. It's a little bit youthful and playful, but now we've got the Intense, and this one honestly sounds a lot more promising. We've got notes of lavender, lemon, orange blossoms, and then we've got a mid of clary sage and cardamom. I'm already sold here. We've got some aromatics, some spices, a nice opening. That lemon and lavender is the signature opening for the whole Phantom lineup, and then the base is where it's like, okay, now we're talking as well. We've got cedarwood, moss, vanilla, and rum absolute. So a boozy, playful fragrance? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this one's gonna turn out, but it sounds pretty good to me. There's quite a few notes that I really enjoy. Cardamom being one, obviously vanilla, the rum, the booziness. There's some woods. Clary sage is a great aromatic fragrance, so I'm honestly really looking forward to this one. This is definitely one that I will be blind buying or just buying a bottle for a full review and do a comparison between all three. Hopes are that it's the best one. So that's for the Phantom lineup. The next fragrance we've got is called Acqua Profondo Parfum. So Acqua Profondo is actually my favorite, one of my favorite releases. Underrated in my opinion, and it kind of just got muzzled up by a lot of the other releases. They basically watered down their bestseller Profumo, and then they have Profondo Lights, and then they have the Absolute. There's so many versions, and a lot of them are great, but the best one, in my opinion, as of today, is gonna be Profondo. The fact that they're gonna remake it in a Parfum concentration sounds pretty promising. Top notes of marine notes, followed by heart of aromatic essence and a base of woody mineral amber. So they're not really giving us much with this one. They're just playing hard to get, I guess. But this one's really good, and I'm hoping that this one's gonna be the same, if not better, and just maybe an increase in concentration, and good. It's gonna come in a 50 ml, 100 ml, and a 150 refillable bottle. I've got this 3.4 ounce. I think this is a fantastic fragrance, and the longevity on it is really nice. So that's number 2. The third fragrance is by Initio. So Initio is releasing a new fragrance, which is pretty exciting. I've got quite a few. Actually, I just finally ordered Blessed Baraka, and I think it was Mystic Experience or something of that nature. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but one of them is a blind buy, and Blessed Baraka is actually really good. It grew on me. Rehab also. Rehab I just purchased and is on the way. That's like a niched out version of the whole Spice Bomb DNA. So this one, Narcotic Delight, sounds so sexy. It's classified as a spicy amber fragrance with notes of cherry, cognac, vanilla, black, and pink pepper, and tobacco. This is literally me. It screams everything me. The only note that I'm not like the craziest about is cherry, but cherry tobacco combinations are always great. And not just that, but it's not gonna be flat. It's got a lot of peppers. Obviously the peppers are responsible for the spicy nuances, but also can contribute effervescence, specifically the pink pepper. Sometimes you get this carbonation feel or carbonated feel from fragrances. Generally it comes from pink pepper. The combination of those peppers with the vanilla, spiced vanilla, sounds amazing. Spiced tobacco and vanilla sounds even better. But then you add booze and cherry. I'm really looking forward to this one. Hopefully this one will be another great release from Initio. They've got great fragrances as well. The other two that I'm really looking forward to is the Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. They've got one for women and for men. Main notes, or the main difference, is gonna be coffee accord. So it's not necessarily, it doesn't really look like it's gonna go, much of a green route, but it's classified as an amber fougere with coffee, bergamot, star anise, and vetiver. So really the only thing that I see that could potentially take this to the woody route is going to be that vetiver. A lot of people have this fragrance already, but here in the States it's not available. And then obviously they've got the Donna version. So Donna Green Stravaganza, which has a note of jasmine absolute, vanilla extract, and then some tea accord at the top. So I'm really excited to get my hands on both of those as well. These will be the first pickups of 2024. The next one is Bad Boy Cobalt Elixir. I wasn't crazy about Cobalt. The best one in my opinion for 2023 was the Extreme. This though, I mean, listen to these notes, man. It's sage, black pepper, so aromatic and spicy. And then we've got black truffle, resinous woods, so dark and earthy. And in the base, we've got resins, olibanum, and we've got vanilla. So Rabanne, vanilla, black truffle, some resinous woods, black pepper, sage. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is my vibe of fragrances. I'm all about the elixirs because it goes in the Middle Eastern realm of things. This is how we do fragrance. Dark, dense, spicy, earthy. And I mean, they rock it, we rock it all year round. It really doesn't matter. And this is definitely going to be one that I will be picking up. I do enjoy the fact that they're getting testier with their fragrances, with the whole elixirs and things, and I hope they keep it up, honestly. I hope they cover both spectrums. Even though I love these dark, denser, earthier fragrances, there are a lot of people that like easier, lighter fragrances like this. And I don't think that, you know, these freshies are going anywhere, but like I said, it is nice to have some spicy fragrances that get testy, like they did once upon a time. So the next one is, oh God, the next one, I can't believe they did this one. I just got Blush. Sexy ass fragrance for women, okay? I don't rock it, I don't wear it, but I love it so much that I picked it up. Vanilla, some musks, and a couple of other notes in that fragrance, but now they have an elixir. My God, man. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's got Italian bergamot, mandarin, we've got ylang, absolute, and rose in the mid, and then there's vanilla, absolute, and patchouli. This is basically following the footsteps of like sexier fragrances, or like the originals, and then the sexy, dirty, earthy, sexual fragrance flanker. That's kind of what I'm getting the vibe of. Delina essentially takes that whole rose DNA, adds a little bit more of this raunchy earthiness like that patchouli, and makes it so much sexier. And this looks like it's kind of following in that footstep. Per my experience, I know a lot of women that don't actually enjoy patchouli fragrances, but it's crazy because most of the time when I smell a fragrance for a woman or for a lady that has patchouli, it's so freaking sexy. It's the same earthy factor that a lot of women are turned off by that a lot of men find sexy. I know I do for sure. The patchouli, the oud, that for me is a straight up aphrodisiac. So hopefully that'll do the same with that. But granted, it is for the women who like those darker and bolder fragrances for sure. It's not gonna be for the light of heart. And that's not always the case. I mean, there are a lot of women's fragrances that are sexy that don't necessarily have to go the earthy route. But for me personally, I find those to be so freaking sexy. So Good Girl Blush Elixir, I'm looking forward to it for sure. The next fragrance is Boss the Scent Elixir. So this one's gonna be classified as an amber, woody, and leather fragrance with the top note of red pepper, mid note of lavender, and then base notes of sandalwood. So I see what I like and I like what I see. I'm guessing there's gonna be that signature maninka fruit that they use across the boards for all of their fragrances. Some people love it or hate it. For me, sometimes I have a taste for it, but it's very specific occasions. It can come off, for me personally, a little bit boring, especially when I go with a lot of their flankers and I just get constant maninka fruit, but the gradients and the differences amongst the flankers are significant enough for me to want to pick up a lot of them. I'm interested to see how they use the maninka fruit in this flanker. I know that they're gonna use the maninka fruit. They use it in every single flanker, and sometimes it can get boring, but it doesn't make their fragrances bad by any means. This one looks like it's gonna be right up my alley though. Some spices, we've got the lavender and sandalwood. So it looks like it's gonna be a creamy, spicy fragrance, fougere. I don't see any notes of leather. It says amber, woody, and leather fragrance, but it looks kind of like creamy, barbershoppy, and spicy, maybe with some maninka fruit. So there's really no telling until we pick it up and find out. So this is one that I will be trying at least, or sampling at the very least. The next one is My Way Nectar by Giorgio Armani. So My Way Nectar, this is actually the this is the last flanker that came out, and this is the Parfum. It's got the use of orris or iris, and I really, really like this one. Ladies, if you enjoy that lipstick, buttery makeup, just this fatty, rooty iris or orris, this is a great one, and it lasts a hell of a long time. My Way. Very sophisticated. It's not for the younger crowd, but it's a very sexy fragrance nevertheless. This one it looks like it's going to be a lighter one. So it's a floral, fruity fragrance with bergamot, orange blossom, paracord, and then we've got middle notes of tuberose absolute with base notes of bourbon, vanilla, and white musk. That sounds very sexy. It sounds like it's going to open up with a lot of honeyed florals, and judging by the photo of the picture itself, it's like dripping nectar, and the name, I would assume that it'll have some kind of natural honeyed sweetness, like honeysuckle vibes or something of that nature, and that is very common with some of the white florals in here, like tuberose, orange blossom, and then we have that pear, bourbon, vanilla, and white musk. So very interested to see how this one pans out. This is one that I will be trying in store personally. I'm not gonna just blind buy this one, so we'll see. Next one is called Flowerbomb Tiger Lily by Viktor and Rolf. Flowerbomb used to be one of my favorite fragrances for women, especially nectar. Over time, my appreciation for Flowerbomb fragrances, specifically nectar, that was like the best flanker, it depreciated, and I pretty much lost interest in Flowerbomb fragrances. So I'll be pretty interested to see what this one turns out like. We've got top notes of coconut milk accord, bergamot, and then we've got mid notes of tiger lily accord, jasmine grandiflorum. I hope to God it doesn't smell like Grandy or Granny. And then we've got a super infusion. Whoa, wait, what? Jasmine grandiflorum super infusion. That's the note. Jasmine grandiflorum super infusion, okay? And freesia in the mid, and base notes of mango and benzoin. Pretty interesting. This one sounds different. I hope they're not just, you know, throwing granny florums at us to kind of just trick us into picking it up, but I will definitely be trying this one out for sure. So Flowerbomb Tiger Lily sounds pretty interesting, if I might say so myself. We've also got 2 new fragrances by Narciso Rodriguez, and I have a couple of them actually. For him, Blue Noir Parfum and Musk Noir Rose for women. Musk Noir Rose is beautiful for women. Smells pretty high-end and upscaled in my opinion. The 2 new releases are gonna be Vetiver Musk and For Her Musk Nude. So I'm really interested to see what For Her Musk Nude is gonna turn out like, because honestly, Musk Noir Rose is one of my top women's fragrances, especially for like signature scents. It smells like a woman carrying her Maltese in a Louis Vuitton purse. That's basically what it smells like to me. What the hell does that even mean? How does it even, tells you absolutely nothing about how it smells, but it smells rich. It's basically a musky rose fragrance with a cosmetic vibe to the whole thing. It smells really high end. So Musk Nude is gonna have pink pepper, white jasmine with rose again, musk, and then we've got woody notes, Indian patchouli, or Indonesian patchouli, sorry, and tonka bean absolute. This one sounds even sexier because it's gonna be sweeter, which sounds really good. And the bottles are very cute in my opinion. For him, Vetiver Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. Okay, interesting top. Cardamom, nutmeg, and cypress. This is going to be earthy right from the top. Cypress is extremely pungent and woody. And then we've got musk geranium bourbon. And we got red algae and lavender. And then in the base, we got cedarwood, patchouli, and vetiver. This is gonna be extremely earthy, man. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this one. I generally don't like, you know, vetiver dominant fragrances. And this looks like it's going to be very earthy. Very, very earthy and wet woods. Look, I mean, it is what it is. We'll find out, I guess. I'm actually looking forward to the women's version more than I am the men's version. But regardless, it sounds interesting. Last on this list, we have Le Mall Le Beau Paradise Garden. So this one is a green aromatic aquatic fragrance that's already been released in some parts of the world, but we don't have it here in the United States, at least that I could find. We got top notes of mint, watery notes, ginger, and green notes, and then we've got a mid of salt, coconut, and fig, and the base tonka bean and sandalwood. So it looks pretty interesting. Maybe some juicy, creamy notes here. We've got juicy fig, some coconut, so it seems like it's gonna be a creamy fragrance, and I'm interested to see how this one does on my skin. As far as the salt accords usually don't do that well on my skin, but it looks like it's combined with just enough sweetness to counteract or balance out with anything that comes off salty on my skin. The other thing that really captures my attention is the opening of this one. We got some pretty contrasting notes, the mint, ginger, and green notes, zingy, and also minty. I feel like this might be an attention-grabbing opening, but there's really no telling until we can sample it with what seems like a sweet and creamy dry down. So through and through, I think this is gonna be a pretty creamy fragrance with a pretty interesting opening. So for the most part, I'm gonna be grabbing a lot of these fragrances, except for the ones that I said I'm gonna be sampling. The green extravaganza, or the green stravaganza rather, and also this Le Beau and a couple of other fragrances I'm really looking forward to. Let me know down in the comments which ones you're looking forward to the most. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and until the next video, peace.